Hi friends, so today I am working in my little journal. This is a Dollar General. I've taken the covers off now, but this is one of the covers. And it was just this little notebook, and I thought, I'm going to try to do something here. Here's the back cover. See? Try to do something with this. It had thin pages, but since I do mostly collage anyway, or paint, that always makes them more robust. I've glued a few of the pages together. I don't even know. This white you can see is how the pages came, so it's pretty thin, but by the time I put my stuff on it, it's plenty robust. And I decided this was going to be my little junky kind of spirit journal. I found a little place I need to glue. And I have loved it because I keep it right here on my desk. If I have scraps left over, they go in my little, I have 2 or 3 of these little things, neutrals and colors and that kind of thing. And so I can pull out these little small scraps. I can use, little labels and stickers and things like that I have sitting around as well. And so it's usually whatever I'm feeling that day. I don't worry about staying inside the lines. I don't worry about anything. This is just for me. So I had done this page. I'll slip over. I even put photos and stuff too. And sometimes I pre-do a page with something before I go back and create like something meaningful with it, for a quote or something I'm experiencing that day. I did this one, and so I kind of had this heartfelt letter I wrote to myself. And I put it inside, and this is how it looks. I just did it on 2 little thin, pieces of paper, and I inked it, folded it up, and I put it inside. But there's not a really good way for it to stay closed. It's not that big. Whoa, I didn't get the bottom glued. I'll have to do that. There's not a great way for it to stay closed. Now, when I have it, it doesn't really matter. But I thought, well, I want to do something kind of cute. So I found this stickers that I ordered, and I really haven't done anything with yet, but I liked this little round one and the colors of it, so I'm going to make something here that this can just slip under. And I've seen people do this before, but sometimes with really thin paper, and I don't really care for that. Now I've done these, and this is another option I could do. I could do something like this that hangs from it and holds it down. For this page, no, I don't really want to do that. But these, I created these with multiple pieces of paper. So they act like chipboard now, but it's just thin pieces of paper that I just cut and glued together. And so these can be hung from, outside of a book or bookmark or whatever. But this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sticker that I have here, and I found a piece of cardstock that, oh, this has a shimmer to it. Do I really want, I don't think I want to use that. I didn't realize that in my low light because it won't show. So let me grab another piece and save that. So this is all cardstock. This is what I want. This is just inexpensive cardstock. That's beautiful. I'm going to have to save that. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's got a beautiful golden sheen. But I don't want to waste it on something you're not going to see it. So I have a circle punch that I believe is going to be about the size of this. So we're going to try that out. If it works, I'm going to be punching a few of them. But let's see first. I can get this started. Me and stickers are not always the best of friends. I don't know why they have to be so mean. All right, here we go. Yeah, the colors are really nice for that. Let me see if I can get it on here. It's got a little bit of a clear border, so I'm not really worried. I can go around and trim it. Looks like I got it dead on. Okay, that's going to work. So maybe just 1 or 2 more circles, just to give it a little bit more robustness. I like that word. If it is a word. All right. So now when I put these together, we're going to have something a little more solid. So there's different ways you can do this. You could do glue stick, but I need to put a piece of paper down because you really need to get around the edges really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the edges because it's a thicker card, it's a thicker paper, so I don't need to do the whole thing. It's already going to give its thickness. So what I want to do is I want to go right up next to the edge. And I can go in just a little bit. I keep this in my fingers because my fingers help me keep the border on there. And this is wonderful glue. It dries, I mean, it adheres real fast. So you sort of need to know that you've got it where you want it as soon as you push it down. All right, there's one. So it's going to go super fast. And there's two. All right, I like that. Now, there are so many ways to do this next part. If I had not already glued the, let me go ahead and glue while I'm talking, get this bottom part. If I hadn't already glued the envelope to this, I could put a little hole in the middle of my circle and then a hole in this, and maybe even an eyelet, put it together that way with maybe a brad. I still might do the brad idea. The problem is the number 2 is right in the middle, and anything I do there is going to obscure the 2 a little bit. I'm not sure I like that. So I think what I'm going to do here is I want this to where it's easy to flip under. All right, so you could just go boop, and there it is. Maybe just a little bit more. Let me see if that's just as easy. Yes. Okay, so let me just put a little line a couple places that I can see. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use this really good glue. This is art. It's called art glitter glue. There's no glitter to it. It was just, I guess, originally invented to put glitter over top of. It's very precise. Comes out of a small nozzle, which I love. You saw I can get up really close to the edges without spillage coming out. And but you have to keep the pin in between because you want to keep that tiny little nozzle clear, and if you let glue dry the least little bit, you're going to have to work at getting that pin back in there. And I've done that a couple of times. It's doable. But so I'm going to add glue just here to the bottom half of this thing. So let me turn it over. There we go. And I'm going to line it up with those 2 little marks I made. And I want to press for just a minute. And so I don't have glue on the top. So now this can just easily go under, and boom, I have a closure. So without having to go through the whole eyelet thing, just going to press a minute, but it should be good to go. This is just wonderful stuff. So the glues I tend to use the most are the art glitter glue for what you just saw today, glue stick, and I love Yoo-Hoo. I've been using this for 20 years, and my stuff still is stuck down in my old journals. And I buy them. You can buy the really fat ones. I like the smaller ones. It's just easier to deal with. And but either way, I get those off of Amazon in bulk. I used to get them at Michael's, but I don't know, they don't carry that brand anymore for some reason. And then I do use a matte Mod Podge, and I usually tend to use that with my trusty silicone paintbrush. I love this for applying glues and mediums. because it just wipes off with the baby wipe, and that stuff can just ruin your bristle brushes. I don't mess with it. But yeah, the Mod Podge I use for doing collage a lot of times, especially if they're thinner papers. This kind of thing. Not quite as much in here because this is such a small book. I usually just use the glue stick, but in larger applications, I do use the Mod Podge. So those are my 3 favorites. I also have Fabri-Tac for thicker things that I need to glue down. It's just not going to be ready to go as fast as this. So, but yeah, we are all done with a very quick closure. I love how it works. It's very simple, and it does the job. All right, hope to see you next time. Bye.